I'll give it to you later. James Allen understood. By the way, I read that book when I was in the 7th grade, As a Man Thinketh. It's a classic. It's 72 pages. I read it every year. I have it memorized. It's a classic. You see, I grew up reading all the great success books because my father paid us. I'm the middle child. He paid the 3 of us. Our allowance was based on reading good books. Oh yeah, I grew up with it. All of my friends got paid an allowance for doing chores, and so when my dad said, you know, Phil and Bob, these guys, they get paid to do chores. I think that's a good idea. How about paying me to do chores around the house? That's just a terrible idea. He said, I don't pay you to do chores because you're part of a family, and I don't pay you to be part of a family. So let me explain it this way, that by the time you were born, John, you already owed your mother for 9 months of ruined board. So shut up and take out the garbage, you know what I'm saying? And by the way, why would I pay you to take out the garbage unless I wanted you to grow up and be a garbage man? He said, I put my money where my values are. And we were required from the 7th grade on to read 30 minutes a day of required reading, of which he put the books in our hands. I can tell you, well, by the time my brother graduated from college, he was already a millionaire. By the time I was 28, I had the 10th largest nonprofit organization in the country. By the time my sister was 27, she ran a hospital. Listen to me very carefully. Listen to me very carefully. Not brilliant kids, kids that were exposed at a very young age to all the success principles. I was reading Success Magazine. I was flying down to Rio 2 or 3 years ago in Success Magazine. They had the 25 most important books you could read to be successful. I thought, what a wonderful article, and I read it. And then I decided to go back and count the books of the 25 that I had read. 19 of the 25 books that you have to read to be successful, I had already read, devoured, underlined, studied by the time I graduated from high school. 19 of the 25. No wonder. No, it wasn't even a race, folks. It is the fastest person doesn't win the race. It's the person who starts first. Speed is overrated. Getting started is underrated. Especially getting started first. And what my father did is my father understood that if I can put the good stuff in my kids' lives, and I tell you that because some of you are parents. I did that for my children. I now do that for my grandchildren. They're on a reading program. Of course they're on a reading program. I pay them. We talk about the books. So As a Man Thinketh by James Allen, I grew up every year. I read that book from 7th grade, 8th grade, 9th grade. By the time I graduated from high school, I said, this is a book I need to read every year. It's only 72 pages. There's nothing to it. And now what am I saying? Here's what I'm saying. What are you doing right now to intentionally grow yourself? What are you doing today to truly get better? It's a huge question. And if I can walk off the stage, if I could walk off the stage and we could just interact, I would say to you, the most important thing that you can do, the most important thing you can do is when you leave this conference, is to get yourself on a personal growth plan. It changed my life. I'm still on a personal growth. I'm 66. I'm still on a personal growth plan. Law number 2. Law number 2. Okay. Law number 2. The law of the mirror. The law of the mirror says you must see value in yourself to add value to yourself. It's a huge law. In fact, it's so important, I'm going to sit down and talk to you, okay? Let's just sit down together here. You've got to see value. When you look in the mirror, you've got to see value in yourself to add value to yourself. If you don't see much value in you, you won't put much time in you. You won't put much energy in you. You won't put much money in you. You won't bet on yourself. If you don't see much value in you, you won't bet on yourself. You know what? If you don't see much value in you, you'll want somebody else to bet on you. You'll want somebody else to sponsor you. This is a law on self-image. And the law of self-image basically says, as you see yourself, you'll place value on yourself. And as you see others, you'll place value on them. So if you have a low self-image, you won't put much into you. And if you have a low self-image, you won't put much into others. I know that for a fact. I see it all the time. I watch and I observe people. And one of the greatest things you can do is begin to see value in yourself. And one of the great things I love about Beachbody, one of the great things I love about this type of an organization is they begin to help you see that you have potential and that you can succeed. And I loved it when one of the diamonds was saying, I listen to me, you can do this, you can do this, you can do this. And all she was trying to do is just to kind of help you to understand that you're a person of worth and you're a person of potential. And if you see yourself as a person of worth, you'll bet on yourself. But if you don't see yourself as a person of worth, you won't bet on you. And what's sad is no one else will. Your self-image is the lid on your potential. And if you see yourself from a 1 to a 10 as a 4, you see yourself as below average. If this is my self-image right here, let me tell you something. My self-image will never allow. It will never allow me to get beyond who I think I am, what I think I can become. My self-image literally is the lid on my potential. It doesn't matter whether I'm a Beachbody or any other organization. My self-image is my lid, and my lid will not move until I move my self-image.